She twirled in the sand like she'd been waiting her whole life for that exact song. Her bare feet barely made a sound, and the soft guitar behind us felt like it was playing just for her. I laughed, a real laugh, not the polite kind I used to give at my old office Christmas parties or to my ex-wife's bridge club friends. This laugh cracked something open in me. "You're dangerous," I said, holding out my hand. "Why?" she giggled, letting me pull her into a slow spin. "Because I make old man heartbeat too fast?" I smiled like a damn schoolboy. "Exactly that." She rested her head on my shoulder and whispered in this sleepy, silky voice, "You are my soul protector, my Farang husband." The words stuck in my chest. I didn't correct her. I didn't need to. We weren't married, not on paper. But right then, under those stars, with the ocean just brushing our toes, I felt like I belonged to her more than I ever had to anyone. "Forever, yeah?" I said, only half joking. She didn't laugh. She pressed her forehead against mine. "Forever," she said. I remember thinking, this is what peace feels like. Not silence but her, not escape but arrival. A waiter placed another drink beside our table, the one we dragged into the sand ourselves because we wanted to be closer to the water. I raised my glass. "To new beginnings." She raised hers and clinked mine, but didn't say anything. Just smiled. That was Nicha. Never wasted words, just looks. Gentle touches. God, she made me feel seen, not pitied. Not tolerated. Seen. "I can't believe this is real," I murmured, half to myself. "You think you're dreaming?" she asked. "I hope not, because if I wake up, I'm not going back." She leaned back and gave me this look, like she already knew I wouldn't. And she was right. We'd just signed the lease that morning. 2 bedrooms near her mom's house in the old part of Krabi town. She said we didn't need that much space, but I wanted her to have an office for her cake business. She always talked about baking, cupcakes, mango mousse, stuff I couldn't pronounce but would have gladly eaten every day for the rest of my life. "You spoil me too much," she said when the papers were done. "That's the job of a husband." I joked, and she looked up, serious, and said, "Then I am wife already." I used to hate that kind of language, the blurred lines, the too fast promises. But with her, it didn't feel cheap. It felt earned. I looked at her across the table, now saw her cheeks warm from the wine, feet buried in the sand, and I thought, this is why people start over. Not for adventure, for this feeling. "Tell me again," I said. "What?" she smiled. "Why you picked me?" She tilted her head, thoughtful. "Because you are kind. You listen. You have soft eyes." I laughed. Soft eyes. Not hungry like others. She took my hand and placed it on her chest. "You look at me like person, not like fantasy." That broke me. I kissed the back of her hand and stared at the waves so I wouldn't cry. I'd been starving for that kind of connection. Years of being needed for what I could provide, not for who I was. I told her, "I'm not rich." She just nodded. "I know. I'm not young." She kissed my cheek. "You are good." "I don't know how long I've got." She rested her head on my shoulder again. "Me neither." We stayed like that until the restaurant started packing up chairs. A little tipsy, a lot in love. I paid the bill with a crumpled 1,000 baht note and we walked home holding hands like teenagers. She stopped halfway and pointed at the moon. "When moon is full again, I want to call you husband in front of my family." I paused. "You serious?" "Yes." I hesitated. "Are we ready for that?" She didn't answer, just kissed my forehead and said it again. "Forever." And I believed her. God help me, I believed every word. Chiang Mai wasn't my first choice. I only ended up there because my buddy Ray said it was cheap, peaceful, and not full of the wrong kind of noise. I didn't ask what he meant. At that point, I didn't care where I landed. I just needed to be somewhere else. My second, divorce had emptied me out emotionally and financially. I'd spent 34 years doing what I was supposed to. 2 kids, mortgage, retirement plan. In the end, none of it stayed, except the pills I carried in my coat pocket for my heart. "Try the massage place near the temple," Ray said when I mentioned how tight my shoulders felt. "Don't worry, it's legit. They even give you tea." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because laughter was safer than crying. That's where I met her. Nicha. "Hello?" she said, her voice like warm cloth. "First time?" I nodded. "Yeah, I'm new here." "You look tired," she said, not rudely, just honest. "You okay?" I sat down on the edge of the mat. "Not really." She didn't press, just poured tea and said, "You want soft or medium pressure?" That first hour, she hardly spoke, just worked silently, occasionally asking, "Okay?" or "Too strong?" And when she was done, she bowed her head a little and said, "You come again, okay?" I did. The next day and the one after that. I wasn't trying to fall for anyone. Hell, I didn't even think she noticed me beyond the towel and the tip. But she did. She remembered my name by day 3. By day 6, she asked if I had kids. "Yeah," I said. "2 boys. Well, men now. One talks to me, the other is sometimes." She didn't say anything, just nodded and brought me a small bowl of mango slices the next visit. "You eat alone?" she asked. "Every night." Bad. Food tastes better with company. One night I stayed a little late. The place was closing. She walked me outside. "Tomorrow is Sunday," she said. "Shop closed, but I make soup. You want?" I blinked. "You're inviting me?" "Only if you lonely." I almost said no. I didn't want to misunderstand. But then she smiled and added, "You have soft face." "What does that mean?" I asked. "You look like you don't lie." I laughed. "That's a new one." She handed me a folded piece of paper with her number. "Call tomorrow if you're hungry," I called. Of course I called. She met me in a park with a thermos and 2 plastic bowls. We sat on a bench watching. "Kids feed pigeons." "I always dreamed to have bakery," she said. "Little one with cakes and books, maybe 2 dogs." "Sounds perfect," I said. "You?" she asked. "Any dream now?" I stared at the pond. Peace. I just want peace. After that, she started showing up more. Sometimes with rice, sometimes just to say hi. Once she stood outside my apartment with a new pillow. "Your old one not good for neck," she said. "You spying on me?" I joked. She shrugged. "I care." 3 weeks after we met, it rained hard. Streets were flooding, and she texted, "Can I stay? Too far to go home." "Of course," I replied. I made her tea, lit 1 candle, and offered her the bed while I took the floor. "No," she said gently. "We share. Just sleep." We didn't kiss. We didn't do anything. She curled up beside me and put her hand over my heart. "You okay?" she whispered. "I am now," I whispered back. In the morning she made breakfast with what little I had in the fridge. "I bring eggs next time," she said. "You mean there's a next time?" "Yes, if you want." I wanted. God, I wanted. But I told myself not to fall. Not again. I told myself maybe she was just kind, just Thai, just raised different. But every time she looked at me like I mattered, that wall inside cracked a little more. "You always so nice to strangers," I asked her one night. "You not stranger," she said. "You broken man, I see that." "And that makes me a project?" "No," she said. "It makes you honest." I remember sitting on the edge of my bed after she left one morning, just staring at the empty pillow. I hadn't slept that well in years. My chest didn't feel tight, my thoughts didn't race. She made the room feel warm, even after she was gone. "This is different," I told myself. "She's not like the others." And for a while I let myself believe that. I let myself believe someone saw me not for what I lost, but for what I still had left to give. The bus ride to Udon Thani was long, bumpy, and full of chickens in plastic crates. I didn't complain. Nicha was curled up beside me, her head on my shoulder, humming along to the old Thai pop song playing from the driver's radio. "You nervous?" she asked. "About meeting your mum?" I smiled. "Terrified." She giggled. "Don't worry, she already love you. She's never met me. She says you sound kind, and you try speak Thai. Most Farang don't. Try?" I adjusted the gift bag at my feet, cookies, vitamins, and a scarf I'd bought last minute. What if she thinks I'm just another guy? "You not just," Nicha said, squeezing my hand. "You stay." Her cousin Lek was waiting at the bus station, holding a sign that said Uncle John in big green letters. He was maybe 19, wiry, with dyed orange hair and a cracked iPhone that never left his hand. "Are you American?" he asked. "Last I checked." "Cool, my dream go Canada." "Close enough," I joked. Nicha gave him a soft smack on the arm. "Lek, translate for us. But you understand okay already, yeah?" "Enough to get into trouble," I said. "Not out of it." Her mother's house was small, pink, and overflowing with potted plants. The moment I stepped inside, I was pulled into a hug so tight I thought my ribs might crack. "She cry," Nicha said, smiling through her own tears. "She very happy." Her mother said something rapid in Thai. Lek turned to me. "She say you look like actor from old movie." "Which one?" I asked. "She forget name." We sat on a bamboo mat and ate sticky rice with grilled chicken. Nicha leaned into me like we'd been married for years. Her mom watched every move we made with this soft, watery gaze. "You treat her good, yes?" Lek translated. "Better than anyone." "Ever has," I replied. She nodded. Then she asked something else, quieter. Lek paused. "She asked if you serious, you know, marriage, long time." I looked at Nicha. She didn't say anything, just looked down at her plate. "I wouldn't be here if I wasn't," I said. That night I sat outside on a wooden stool watching mosquitoes dance around a busted light bulb. Lek came out still scrolling his phone. "Uncle," he said, "can I ask something?" "Shoot. I won't go to university, but no money now. I maybe study software. You think maybe you can help?" I blinked. "Your English is good." "I watch YouTube." I hesitated. He looked nervous. "Just small, just tuition this year." The next morning I gave him the money. It wasn't much by US standards. "For school," I said. "Do something great with it." "Thank you, Uncle." He hugged me fast, then ran off before I could change my mind. I turned and saw Nicha watching from the doorway. "You okay with that?" I asked. She nodded. "He, good boy, wants better life." I know that feeling. Later that day, her mom mentioned her fridge was broken. "No," hinting. "Just casual while washing mangoes. Fridge no cold anymore," she said in broken English. "Too old." I pulled out 20,000 baht from my wallet and set it on the counter. "New fridge," I said. Her eyes widened. "No, no. Too much." "Not for family," I said. She touched my cheek, said something to Nicha. "She call you Angel," Nicha whispered. On the ride back to Chiang Mai, I asked, "Did I overstep?" "No," she said. "You help because you want to." "You sure? You have big heart, I know this. Just don't want to be the ATM boyfriend." She was quiet. Then she said, "You not ATM. ATM don't laugh at my jokes." I looked out the window, fields of green blurring past. I wanted to believe that. I did believe that. But a part of me, the old cynical part, had whispered, "Would she still be here if you had nothing?" I shut it down. I'd spent too many years guarded. This felt good, real. Giving made me feel alive again, needed, maybe even loved. I don't remember when it started. Maybe it was the third time she said she was too tired to come out dancing. "Just want to sleep early," she mumbled, already halfway into her blanket. "You go with friends, okay?" I kissed her forehead, told her I understood, but I didn't go out. I sat on the balcony with a beer, scrolling through old photos of us. I stared at one where she was laughing at the beach, her hair tangled from the wind. That felt like a different version of her, so alive, so open. Now, even when we were together, she felt slightly elsewhere. The next morning, she hummed while making eggs, like nothing had changed. "You sleep good?" I asked. "Yes. Dream of big house and garden." "Was I there?" She smiled but didn't answer. Her phone buzzed on the counter. She grabbed it fast, face down. I caught the green flash of a WhatsApp notification. "You always keep your phone silent now." "Loud too annoying," she said. "Only customers text anyway." "Customers at 7 in the morning?" She didn't look up. "Some people wake early." I wanted to push further, but I didn't. I told myself I trusted her. I had to. Another time I woke up alone. Her side of the bed was cold. I checked the time, 4:12 a.m. I opened the door. No shoes, no bag. Gone. I sat on the couch, heart beating way too fast for that hour. She walked in around 6. "Where were you?" I asked. "My mum called, say sick, I go check." "At 3 in the morning?" "Yes." "You didn't wake me. No one to disturb. You sleep deep. You took your purse." "Because I buy her medicine." I stared at her for a long moment. "Did you go alone?" She sat down beside me and wrapped her arms around my waist. "Why so many questions?" "Because it doesn't feel normal, Nicha." She pulled back. "You think I lie?" "No, I just—" "Then stop. Please. I love you, but you make me feel like prisoner." Later that night she was quiet. We lay in bed, backs turned. I listened to her breathing. Even in the dark, it felt like there was a wall between us. I whispered, "You can talk to me about anything." She didn't answer. I noticed other things. Her perfume changed. She started locking her phone. She stopped asking me to walk her to work. Once I offered to pick her up. She hesitated. "No need, I take motorbike taxi, faster." "I don't mind. I already book." I found a receipt in her purse once. Dinner for 2 at a rooftop place we'd never gone to together. "You went out last Thursday?" I asked casually. She blinked. "With Lek. His birthday." "You didn't mention it." "I forget." That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling and kept replaying her tone, her timing. It didn't add up, but I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. I'd built too much around this life to let one dinner receipt bring it down. "Are you happy?" I asked. Her one morning, she looked surprised. "Why you ask that?" "Just wondering." "Of course I'm happy." "With me?" "Yes. You good man." She kissed my cheek, but her eyes didn't match the softness in her voice. I started watching her more. Not in a jealous way. At least, that's what I told myself. Just observing. The way she took her phone to the bathroom. How her smiles were shorter. How she never reached for my hand first anymore. One night I confronted her, gently. "Is something wrong between us?" She turned off the TV. "Why you say this? You're different lately." "I still here." "Being here and being present aren't the same. You not trust me? I'm trying to, but things feel off." She stood, walked to the window. "You overthink too much." "I never used to. You made me feel safe. Now I'm second-guessing everything." She turned to me, voice low. "Maybe problem not me. Maybe you still broken from before." That one stung. I didn't answer. She went to bed without saying goodnight. I stayed on the couch, feeling something inside me split. I didn't want to be that guy, paranoid, bitter, controlling. But I also didn't want to be blind, and the hardest part was I still loved her. Even as the doubts grew louder. Even as the space between us stretched wider. I held on because letting go meant admitting I'd been wrong. About her, about us. About everything I thought I had finally gotten right. It was karaoke night at the Riverside Bar. Half-off drinks for expats, and a few locals sprinkled in to laugh at our bad singing. I didn't want to go, but Dave insisted. "Come on, John," he said. "You've been cooped up for weeks. Sing one damn song, have one damn beer." I agreed just to shut him up. I needed distraction. Nicha had cancelled dinner again, said her mom needed help washing floors. "Next time okay, baby?" I showed up late, found them huddled in the corner. Greg was new, American, mid-50s, clean shirt, nervous laugh. "You from Texas?" he asked. "New York originally, but I'm a Thailand guy now." "Same," he said. "Been bouncing between Chiang Mai and Pattaya the past few years." He ordered another round and leaned toward me. "You got a lady here?" I smiled and pulled out my phone. "Yeah, her name's Nicha. Been with her almost 8 months." I showed him a photo from our beach trip in Krabi, her holding my hand, hair blowing across her face. His face froze. "Wait," he squinted. "What's her name again?" "Nicha." "Holy sh—" He turned white. "I know her. I dated her last year." I laughed. "No way." "Dead serious," he said, reaching for his phone. "Please don't tell." "Me, she still lives near that fruit market by the temple." My stomach tightened. "Yeah, why?" he tapped. "Hang on." He found a photo. Her, laughing on the same beach. Same blue dress. Same hand-in-hand pose. But with him. That's from March last year, he said. She told me I was her only one. My heart didn't sink. It snapped. She said she didn't date foreigners before me, I muttered. Same line, he said. I paid her rent, sent money to her mum. I looked closer. Same necklace, same damn smile. I thought she loved me, I said. Dude, you're probably sponsor number 3. What do you mean? You're not the first, probably not the last. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the bar. You sure it's the same girl? Absolutely. She's got a scar behind her right ear, right? I nodded. She told me it was from falling off a motorbike as a kid. She told me it was from a kitchen burn. I stood up. I need air. Greg followed me outside. Man, I'm sorry, I thought you knew. No, I said. I thought I was different. So did I. He lit a cigarette. She ever ask you for business investment? No, not yet. She will. He blew out smoke. They're not all like that, but she is. I stared at the river, cold sweat clinging to my neck. You think she ever cared? I think she cared when it was convenient. She told me forever, I said. She said I had soft eyes. He snorted. She told me my heart was gentle. I sat down on the curb. My hands were shaking. I bought her a fridge. I bought her mom a scooter. I helped her cousin with school fees. I paid for her uncle's funeral. We stared at each other like two fools waking up at the same time. So, what do I do now? I asked. Greg shrugged. You can confront her, she'll cry, say it's not what you think. Maybe she'll gaslight you, maybe she'll ghost you. But you'll never get the full truth. You sure you want to know it? I didn't answer. I couldn't. My heart felt like it had cracked into 4 languages I didn't understand. You loved her? I asked. Yeah, for a while. But love doesn't mean much when you're sharing it with other wallets. I winced. He sat beside me. Look, man, you're not stupid. You're just human. We all want to be needed. I went home alone. Nicha wasn't there. Said she had a sleepover at her mom's. I stared at the wall all night. Didn't drink, didn't cry, just sat there watching my own shadow. Around 3 a.m., I checked my phone. Nothing. No messages. No, I miss you. I pulled up every photo, every voice note, every message where she called me her husband, and all I could hear was Greg's voice. Sponsor number 3. I thought about confronting her right then, waking her up, demanding answers. But what would it change? If she lied, I'd hate her. If she told the truth, I'd hate myself. Either way, something real had just died inside. Me. And I wasn't sure if it was love or just the last piece of hope I had left in the world. She came in humming, holding a plastic bag of fried rice and mango slices like nothing had shifted. You eat yet? She asked. No, I said. Sit down. She raised an eyebrow. What happened? I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table. Look. Her eyes flicked to the screen. It was the photo Greg showed me. Her, same beach, same dress, different man. She stared. Where you get this? That's not the question, I said quietly. Who is he? He old friend. Friend who held your hand on the same beach you took me to? She hesitated. Before I meet you. He says you told him he was the only one, that you loved him, that you needed rent money. Her face hardened, then softened, then cracked. I don't know what you want me to say. The truth, I said. I want the truth. She crossed her arms. Why you listen, other man? He jealous. He showed me receipts, pictures, messages. It's not just him, is it? I not lie to you, she said. I love you. Nicha, how many? I asked. How many others? Silence. Her mouth opened, then closed. I leaned forward. Please don't insult me by pretending anymore. Her voice dropped. I not choose this. You think my life easy. I never said that, I replied. But you let me believe you were mine. Only mine. She started crying. So you different. You kind. You make me feel safe. Others just give and go, but you stay. You make me soup when I sick. You fix my shoes. You hold my hand in public. Then why lie? I asked. Because I scared. I scared you go if you know. You all leave. You never gave me the chance to prove I wouldn't. I stood up. My legs felt numb. You used me. No, she shouted. I love you. But I also need to survive. You don't understand. In your country, you get money from government. Here we survive day by day. No help. Just smile and fight. So what was I? I asked. A job? No. She stepped closer. You are peace. You are comfort. You are not like the rest. But I am the rest, I said. I'm just another sponsor. Number 3, number 5. I don't even know anymore. She dropped her head. You think I'm a bad person? I think you're not who I thought you were. You still love me? Yes, I said, voice shaking. That's the worst part. I still do. But I can't be here, Nicha. I can't live like this. Please, she whispered. Don't leave me. I looked at her. Really looked. The mascara clinging to her lashes, the panic swimming in her eyes. She wasn't evil. She was just tired of drowning. But I wasn't her life raft. I was just another rope she grabbed onto, hoping it would hold. I picked up my bag. I'm not angry, I said. I'm just done. You walk away now. I don't come back, she said. I turned to the door. That's the point. Didn't slam it. I didn't even look back. Because if I did, I knew I'd stay. And staying would finish me. The studio near the river was half the size of our old place. No balcony, no couch, just a thin mattress, a fan, and a kettle I barely used. I picked it for the silence. The landlord asked if I needed help moving in. I told him no, there wasn't much to bring. I left most of it behind. The second set of plates, her favorite blanket, the framed photo from Krabi still hanging by the fridge. I didn't even take the clock. It ticked too loud anyway. On my first night there, I sat on the floor with a can of beer and stared at the white wall across from me, waiting for something, tears, rage, anything. Nothing came. I started walking a lot. No destination. Just moving so I didn't rot in place. The river became my routine. Mornings I'd see old Thai men casting nets. Evenings, couples holding hands, whispering. I kept my head down. One night, I passed a vendor grilling chicken skewers. For wife? He asked, holding out a plastic bag. I smiled. No wife anymore. He didn't respond, just gave me an extra skewer for free. I took it, walked to the edge of the water and ate alone while mopeds buzzed in the distance. Some nights I'd catch myself reaching for my phone, halfway through typing, I miss you, before deleting every word. Other times, I'd open old messages just to hear her voice memos again. You sleep okay, baby, she used to say. I dream of you again. I knew better. But knowing doesn't always stop the ache. I kept asking myself if any of it was real. The way she used to trace circles on my chest with her fingers, the soup she made when I was sick, the way she kissed my forehead and whispered, forever. Did she mean it in the moment? Or was I just a mirror she smiled into? I ran into Lek once near the market. He saw me before I saw him. Uncle John, he said awkwardly. You okay? Yeah, I lied. And Nicha? He shifted. She, doing okay. I didn't ask more. I didn't need to. His eyes did the talking. Tell her. I paused. Never mind. He nodded and walked off. I stood there with 2 bananas in my hand, forgetting why I bought them. One night I took a longer route home and ended up near our old street. I didn't mean to. My feet just went. Her building was still the same, a flickering light over. The doorway, the rusted gate leaning sideways. I saw her window. The curtain was drawn, but the light was on. Then I heard it. A laugh. A man's voice. Deep. Confident. Not mine. I froze. Just stood there in the shadow of a telephone pole. I didn't cry, I didn't shout, I stood. Then I turned and kept walking. There was no anger left. Just this quiet shrinking inside me. Like the air I used to take up had been compressed into a single breath. I thought about everything. The promises, the meals, the mornings we woke up tangled together like we were built for it. I thought about the way she used to look at me like I was safe, then the way she looked through me toward the end. I kept trying to remember the exact moment it shifted, but it never came. Maybe because it wasn't a moment. Maybe it was a slow fade I refused to see. I started writing again. Nothing serious, just lines in a notebook I bought from a 7-Eleven. Little thoughts. I don't miss her, I miss who I was with her. Love isn't a lie, but sometimes the storyteller is. You can't lose what never fully belonged to you. Dumb stuff maybe, but it helped. Gave shape to the blur. Most mornings, I made instant coffee and watched the sun rise behind the river haze. It wasn't beautiful, but it was mine. One day I got a text. Unknown number, just one line. Are you okay? I stared at it for a full minute. Then I deleted it. Not because I hated her, I didn't. I don't think I ever will. But some doors once shut have to stay that way. Not because what's inside is evil, but because what's inside almost broke you. I'm still here, still breathing, still walking the same streets I walked with her. But now I keep my eyes forward. I don't pass her building anymore. I don't replay the beach in my head every night. I don't wait for the phone to buzz. The silence doesn't hurt like it used to. It's just quiet now. And maybe that's the closest thing to healing I'll ever get. The mornings are the best. Part now. I get up early before the sun's too aggressive and walk down to the animal center with a black coffee in hand. No sugar, no milk. Just bitter and clean the way I like it these days. The center's run by Claire, a no-nonsense French woman with a thick accent and a soft spot for limping dogs. You come back tomorrow? She asked the first day I showed up. If you need me. She smirked. I always need people who don't complain. I've been going almost every day since. I don't talk much. I feed the strays, rinse the bowls, clean up whatever needs cleaning. The dogs don't ask questions. They just lean on you when they're ready. Sometimes I think they know. I sit, with one old mutt scarred up and missing an ear, and I say, "We're a fine pair, huh?" He just closes his eyes and leans in harder. I haven't dated. Don't feel the urge. It's not bitterness, just quiet. I don't flinch when I see couples walking by the river. I don't pause when a woman laughs in a tone that used to twist my stomach. I still write in my notebook. Not about her, not anymore. Just pieces of feeling. The heart doesn't need to forget. It just needs somewhere else to go. I didn't heal, I changed shape. One day Claire saw me scribbling. You write poems? Not really, I said, just unloads. Good. Better on paper than inside. She's blunt like that. I walked past Nicha's street again last week, not on purpose, just the long route back after the market. Her building looks the same. The light still flickers over the doorway. I didn't stop. Didn't look up. I don't even know if she still lives there. And it didn't matter. I used to rehearse what I'd say if I saw her. All the lines, the questions, the final closures. Now I just hope she's okay, not for her, for me. Holding on to resentment is like holding your breath to hurt someone else. I let it go. One morning I got a message from a foreign number. Just a heart emoji, no name, no context. I deleted it. No panic, no shaking hands, just delete. I told myself if it was her, that's all I needed to know. That somewhere, for some reason, she remembered. And that was enough. I used to want the whole truth, now I just want my peace. There's a little girl who comes to the center sometimes with her grandma. She always pets the same puppy and says, "He's still scared." One day she asked why he always hide. Her grandma said, "Maybe he remembers something bad." The girl nodded. "But I'm nice, he'll know soon." That hit me harder than I expected, that maybe trust isn't a switch. Maybe it's just the absence of fear, one moment at a time. Claire told me the dog with the missing ear was up for adoption. You want him? She asked. I looked at the mutt snoring against my leg. I think he already picked me. So now he sleeps at the foot of my mattress, doesn't bark, doesn't bite, just breathes loud and steady. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, heart racing for no reason, and hearing him there calms me. Funny how a broken thing can comfort another. I don't avoid love, I just don't chase it anymore. If it finds me again, it'll have to sit down beside me while I finish my coffee. No rushing, no grand speeches, just a quiet understanding that I'm no longer someone trying to be saved. I used to need someone to fill the holes. Now I just plant flowers in them. Some mornings I even smile for no reason. Not because I'm happy. But because I'm not lost, I came here hoping to feel whole. I thought it would happen through her, through love, through being chosen. But what I found was different. Stillness, room to breathe. I don't check my phone for her texts anymore. I check the weather, the time, the price of eggs. Normal stuff. I don't sit in silence hoping it'll get louder. I just let it be. Closure doesn't come with answers. It comes with choosing not to need them anymore. Every day, I drink my bitter coffee. I feed the dogs. I walk back to my quiet room and write one sentence that reminds me I'm still alive. And oddly, I'm getting close.